Hello everybody, my name is Alex, and what you can see right in front of you is the UHC box. So if you don't know what UHC stands for, it is basically a game mode or a type of game for multiplayer that was invented or raised by the Minecraft server. And basically what it is you're playing survival Minecraft, either in teams or alone against other players, and the goal is to kill everybody else but you. So there are a few special things about it, and that is, for instance, that you do not regenerate any health naturally. So the only way to regenerate health is to use golden apples or health potions. And also there are a few other things, and I've concluded them all inside this box. So not only them that you might already know from the UHC of the Minecraft server, but also a lot of other interesting features that can make the whole game a lot more interesting. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so before we actually take a look at the features, I want to tell you one more thing, and that is you can actually go ahead, and I'm going to explain you how to do that later in the video, and import this entire box using a program called MCEdit into any world you desire. So you can even use custom maps if you want. You can just import this anywhere you want, and then just play with your friends or with whomever you'd like. So yeah, that's the cool thing about it. So let's actually now take a look at the features. So we have our front control panel right here, which controls the most important features, and there's also the main start button for the game. So I'll take a flick those two to off right now, and that also to off. So let's start from the right here. So we have one feature, and that is the normal cycle constant day thing button lever here. So if we quickly go ahead and set the time to 0, you'll see that the sun rises back there. But if we set this to constant day, then the sun will be locked up there. So if we set it back to 0, it's gonna immediately pop back there. And so that basically makes it so that it's constant day, and that is actually quite interesting, because when it's constant day, all the mobs are going to spawn down on the ground, and so you'll be against a lot more mobs down on the ground. But on the other hand, you don't have to fear coming up to the surface and encountering any mobs up there. But this makes it a lot more interesting, because both you have to be much more careful on the ground. And also, when you come up above on the surface, you'll encounter a lot more people, because they're less likely to spend so much time on the ground. So that's a cool thing you can do, or you can't do if you don't want. You mustn't do that. Then right here we have the scoreboard, which is basically just gonna show the kills per player to the right. Let's actually leave that on for now. We have the border. If we activate that, we can actually set the border size inside of the box. I'm gonna show you that in a second. And the border is basically just it's like it's no real border. It is just you could say an unreal border. You know, it's just when you move over a certain point, you'll get a message that's gonna tell you, it's gonna literally spam your chat that you're outside of the border and that you should come back. And in order to make you really do that, it also affects you, gives you the effect of hunger. And so if you stay outside of the border for too long, you're actually gonna starve to death, and that's no good. So let's actually head inside of the cube. We just press this button to get in there. Yeah, that's the inside. There's a lot of stuff in here, a whole bunch of redstone. I'm not going to explain you everything thoroughly, but I'm going to quickly go through a few things that you can actually set inside here. So there's the show health and don't show health button here. If we set that to show health, we can see that our health will be indicated up there. If we bring up our player list, if we just go up here, that's a little weird when you first like when it turned to off, and now I can't even bring up the list because I'm a single player. But if I now turn it on, and now you can see that we have a health of 0. That is just because when there has nothing changed yet to your health, it will just be at 0. But if we quickly go to game mode 0 and let ourselves drop down, you'll notice that it actually now shows 20 20 is just like counting half hearts. Okay, back to game mode 1. We can control if we want to have the weather being controlled, and that basically just makes it so we have the weather control on, and quickly toggle downfall. There we go. Toggle downfall, and it's gonna immediately set the rain off. That's gonna make it nice and bright again. If we turn that to off, no weather control, then you'll notice that doesn't happen. So the sun will just be constantly reset because it's very dark. So yeah, that doesn't really make sense because now it is actually so dark that mobs might eventually be able to spawn. Maybe we can see some Endermans are spawned there. Yeah, I think, yeah, there we have a spider. Yeah, mobs can spawn when it rains, so yeah, it actually makes sense to turn on the weather control. So yeah, then we have the timer, and basically when you've watched the UHC of the Minecraft server, you probably know about this already. So they have it so that every 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the latest one, you get a message telling, yep, 20 minutes over, and that's basically just so that when you're recording and you're putting up episodes on YouTube, and just say, oh, 20 minutes over, episode over, see you next time, you know, that kind of thing, so that you can that you can control right here. It's actually a 30-minute timer. If you want, you can change it. There's hoppers up here, and all the items are in here right now, all the 5 stacks, and that makes it so that it is a 30-minute timer. But if you take one out, it should be less. In fact, if we take one item out, I think it would be 24 minutes. If we take another one out, it would be 18, and so on and so forth. So, of course, you can also just take half stacks out. So I guess when you take out 1.5 stacks, it should be 20 minutes. I'm not too sure about that, but it should be from what I'm thinking right now. So yeah, up here we have the command block, which is going to spread the players. That's a new edition of the latest snapshot. I actually didn't even say that. Yeah, we're using the new snapshot 13W23A and B, and a lot of cool features have been added. For instance, the spread players command, which is just going to spread the players all around the map. And if you want to modify something in there, those two things in the beginning here you don't need to modify. That's the coordinates. But right here you can modify how far apart from each other the players are going to be spawned. So right now we have it so that no player will be spawned in 100 blocks distance to another player. And also we have it so that the maximum distance to this box here that the players are going to be spawned away from is 1,000 blocks. So basically we have a circle area with a diameter of 2,000 and a radius of 1,000 around this box here where all the players are going to be spread to. So you can modify those two things here if you want to. Then here we have the border size. I have it set to 1,000, same as with the spread players command. So yeah, that's just so that you get this message. And of course, if you reduce the spread players thing here, you want to also reduce the border, because then you might happen to spawn or to be teleported outside of the border, and then you'll basically immediately starve to death, and that's no good. So then I think I said that already, but we have teams with this box. We have up to 10 teams that you can have. 10 teams. What you do is you have your standard 2 teams right here. Those are standard because you need 2 teams, you know, otherwise it's boring. And you can just flick that lever. Now we would have 3 teams. We can flick that one here. We would have 5 teams, and so on. And you need to actually think about it, how many teams you want. So if you have like 6 players, you can decide either you just leave it like that, and then you'll end up with 2 teams with each 3 players, so that you end up with a total of 6 players, or you set it to 3, so that you have 3 teams with each 2 players, or you set it to 6, which doesn't really make sense, because then you would have 6 teams with only 1 player, but that's okay. If you had like 10 players, you could go ahead and leave it at 2 as well. Then you would have basically at every even number you can do that. You could just leave it at 2, and then it's just gonna split in half, 2 teams, 1/2, 1/2. Or if you had 10, you could also say 5, and then you would have 5 teams with each one, with 2 players each. Or you could even go ahead and have 10 teams with each 1 player, which doesn't make so much sense, but yeah. And there's one thing I gotta explain you at this point here. This part is. Oh, I just noticed that. That's a flaw in the system. I gotta put that button here. Okay, I gotta remember correcting it, because that's powering this, and that's not good. So screw that. Don't be disturbed by that. The way the teams are actually filled up is like that. So first of all, the signal comes in here, and it's gonna just go until where there's no blocks in there. Like if we have 6 teams, then the last block is here, and the repeater would try to send it to here, but the signal can't go anywhere, so it's just gonna stop there. And if we say have 4 teams, signal is just gonna go through here, and it's gonna activate until here, and it's gonna both not activate. It's gonna do 2 things, and it's gonna add a team. It's gonna add team red. It's gonna add team blue. Those are the 2 first teams. It's gonna add team yellow, and it's gonna add team white. And also it's gonna set each team's respective color. And then those teams are created, and then what happens is this little repeater thing goes through, and then those repeaters are activated in chain. And basically what they're doing is they're checking for a random player which is in the team pre-game. The team pre-game is created before those repeaters actually take place right here. It's created right here. Add team pre-game, and it's gonna add everybody to the team pre-game. And so it's gonna take a random player out of the team pre-game and add it to the red team. And that's gonna make it so that the player actually leaves the team pre-game and it joins the red team. And now the player's in the red team. And now when the blue command block right here activates, it cannot actually teleport the player that is now in team red, because that player is no longer in team pregame. So it's only going to take it from them that haven't been applied to a team yet. So it's just going to go through there, and it's going to take like in one cycle, it's just going to take 1 player for each team. Right now we wouldn't have team green, aqua, and all the others, so right there where we have those command blocks, they're just gonna, like aqua and gold and green, they're just gonna be skipped past, because if there's no team, nobody can be applied to it, and the signal's gonna come back here. This block will be down. I'm gonna explain that in a little bit. And then it's gonna just go another cycle through, and it's gonna do that so long until this command block back here does not recognize any player left. So when there's just no player left in the team pregame, which is the case as soon as yes, all the people have been applied, then this piston will actually retract. This is extended normally, but then it will be retracted, and then the signal will just stop right here, and it will continue up here, and we'll do all the other stuff. And basically that means if you have let's say if you have 2 teams, but if you have 2 teams, but you have only 7 players. Not only, but if you have 7 players and 2 teams, that would mean that one team has to be with 4 players and another team has to be with 3 players. So what it will do is we'll go through the first cycle, and red and blue will each get 1 player, another cycle 2 players each, another cycle 3 players each, and then the next cycle, this will actually, the red team, because it's activated first, will get 1 more player, but the blue team then hasn't anybody to get anymore, and so blue team will just remain with 3 players, and when the signal comes back there, this will already be retracted so that it stops and thing starts, you know. So basically it will be filled from the start to the end. So if you have like if the teams can't be filled up properly, they'll just be uneven, you know. So if you have like 5 teams and you have 12 players, what will happen is first cycle all the 5 teams will get 1 player. Next cycle, all the 5 teams will get 1 player, so that 10 players are now applied. And then next cycle, because we only have 12 people, we'll only apply the team to red and to blue, and so the next tree will just stay with only 2 players, while those have 3 players. I hope you could at least partially understand that, but yeah, that was a very important part of this. And so there's one last thing right back here, and this is actually the winner message. So this will just make it so that a message will be given off right back here, telling which team has won. It actually does that just by with this command right here. So we can detect that Team Blue, for instance, has won by checking for everybody that is not in Team Blue, which we do by !blue. So Team not blue, and that has a death score of a maximum of 0. So if there's nobody left that hasn't died and it is not in Team Blue, if that's the case, then damn it, cancel that. Okay, then the comparator down here will actually turn off, turn that torch on, and say the team has won. That's how that works. Yeah, I can quickly explain you a few things up here as well. So when the signal comes here, which is the case when all the people have been applied and when the game is ready to start, then this new command will actually take place. It's the it's the game rule natural regeneration thing there, and that's basically gonna make it so that you do not regenerate any health naturally, and that's the nature basically of UHC, that you don't regenerate any health naturally, only with health potions or golden apples. So that's that, and then there's difficulty 3, and back here there's the spread players command, and then this also goes up to this R latch thing, which will turn on the clock, which will then go through this little binary thing here, and which will then turn on the timer here at 30 minutes. It was kind of a pain to get that done here, because it's quite hard to make a 30 minutes timer without needing up a whole bunch of space. And then back here we just have a whole bunch of command blocks for like our time set and clear. Up there's actually a daylight sensor, and a whole bunch of other stuff there. So yeah, let's actually head on outside again. There we go, and now let's take a look at it in action. Okay, so now that we've explained everything, I've quickly just made another world where I've imported this, and now we're just gonna test things out. Unfortunately, as I think I said already, I couldn't manage to set up a server. There were some issues. So yeah, we're just gonna make it single player here, which is just awesome. We're gonna set it to constant date. There we go. Scoreboard, let's turn that on. Border on, let's move inside. Health shown, there we go. Weather control on, timer on. Teams, we have 2. Back here, message on. Oh, I'm getting some serious lag here, sorry for that. We have our border size at 1000, we have our spread size at 1000, and we have our other thing back here at 1000 as well. So I'd say let's get outside again, and let's actually start a game. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, and we've been teleported. Ooh. That's awesome. And there we go, we've been spawned. Holy cow. Oh, that's a cool spawn there. Oh my god, I'm getting such a bad lag here. That's because I'm basically spawned in the middle of new terrain, or whatever you call that. Oh my gosh, that lag is incredible. And the game crashed. Yes, has run out of memory. Well, that's beautiful. I'm quickly gonna resume recording. Okay, there we go. Just re-entered the world, and we have our message. Red won the game. Just got that right there. Yeah, that's a severe problem in the latest snapshot, especially in single player. We're getting some serious lag issues, and other performance crap, and yeah, that's kind of bad. And also the health did regenerate, although I actually set the game rule to false, that it regenerates. We want to quickly kill ourselves and go back to spawn, and now all the others activate as well because we killed ourselves and weren't there for a second. I'll actually enter this here. Let's check. Yeah, see, I've actually activated game rule natural typo regeneration. I've checked. Okay, I'm gonna fix that so that you don't regenerate health, which is of course essential for UHC. And yeah, so that was a little typo in there. I didn't notice that until now. Okay, another flaw found in the system that I can fix, which is fine. Fewer for you to find, hopefully. And so now let's take a look at how to import this thing into your world. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at how to import the box into any world. So I found this nice swamp right here, with a nice witch hut right there, and yeah, big ocean over there, which isn't too perfect for a UHC. However, we're just gonna stick with this one. So what you'll do is you'll actually exit your world so that you're back in the menu, and you're gonna open up a program called MCEdit right there. So MCEdit you can just download for free. Just do that, open it up, or install it, open it up, and it should look somewhat like this. And what you'll do is you go to load world right here, and you'll just select the world that you want to import your box into, click load, and it's going to open up. So you move in MCEdit like this. You just hold down the right mouse button, and then you can just hold it down, and you can move your view, and then you can just move around with your WASD keys, and with your spacebar, and with shift, I guess, as well, although that doesn't work for me. So yeah, what you'll do then is you'll go down here to import, and you'll actually find the schematic file you should have downloaded, the UHC schematic file. You'll find the link in the description. Just download that. It should be in a zip folder, so just unzip that folder and take out the schematic file, which should be in there. It's just called UHC box.schematic, and you'll just click that and click on open. I don't have it right there right now, so I just have it up here in my thing up there. So you just click on open, and then you should have it in your hand just like this. And what you'll do is you'll find a nice spot, just move around with this thing, like on the ground, like this. Just maybe not in the way of that tree, just like this maybe. Now just click with your left mouse button, and it's gonna sit there. It is not imported yet, because before you import you should make sure that you have this copy air activated, because if it is not activated, all the air blocks included within the box won't actually be overriding what is there from before, and that would result in a tree in there like we have right here, that would maybe end up inside your box, and then it might cut redstone wires, or like you don't want to have a tree inside your box. So just make sure you have the copy air activated so that all the air blocks will replace everything that is in there. So we just hit import right down here. It's gonna be imported. Now do not deselect or quit right now, because we have to do one more thing, and that is we go to filter right here, and we're gonna click that filter thing right there, and it's gonna open up the folder where all the MCEdit filters are located. And you want to download one filter by SethBling, which is called command block signs. It should be a Python, a .py file. Just download that and put it right in here. It should be just a bare download. It shouldn't be in any folder. Just put it right in here. Close it up again, and then just go to select again, and then go back to filters, and you should have the filter in here right there, command block signs. If it doesn't appear for you, just quickly close your world, save it, and then just come back in here and select the box again, and then go to filter, go to command block signs, and run that filter. Just gonna do like that. Nothing spectacular will happen. Oops. And yeah, so far, so good. Now there's one more thing we should do. We can now deselect our box so we have it all nicely in there. One more thing we gotta do is click down here to move spawn point. We're gonna go to spawn, and our spawn is right here. It's this spawner like thing with a player head inside of it, and we can see right now it is very close to the box, which is just fine. But if your spawn is far away, like somewhere back there, then you want to actually move your spawn point right next to the box, just like this. Just click there and the spawn point will be moved to here. And that is very important because when the box isn't loaded anymore, all the systems that have to run during the game will just stop. So if there's no player nearby, the whole thing will just stop, and that's no good. And if you have a spawn point right next to here, then it'll actually be so that this will always be loaded inside the spawn chunks. So that's just good. So now what we can do is we can click up here, close, save, and there we go. So now we can head back into Minecraft, go into our world, and we should see it standing right here. So that's cool. Now before you can actually use this, there are a few things, and there's a little hole in there because that I just clicked the wrong schematic file there. However, there's one thing you should do now, and that is you want to set game rule command block output. Just type it in just like that, or just press the tab so that it automatically completes it. You want to case sensitive, so big B and or a large, I don't know how to call that, sorry, I'm missing the word right now. Just type it in exactly like this here, and then you just type in false, and that's gonna make it so that the command blocks don't constantly output any messages when they're doing stuff, you know. So now before we can use it, we're gonna actually head inside the box just like that, and we're gonna make sure that works as well, so we can be teleported outside. Yep, just fine. And there's one more thing you should do. You're gonna go up here to player spread, and there should be the coordinate of the center up here. So we have 186 on the X and minus 356 on the Z. You can see that is right up here, but for the spread players command, we do only need the X and the Z coordinate. So we're gonna actually just delete the second coordinate in there. Just delete that, and that's fine. So now you're actually good to go. You wanna make sure that you set all your settings to the right setting. So right now we have no health, so we just set it to health on or health off if you don't want it. Timer shall be set on or off, and back here of course your teams, you're gonna set it, and yeah, and then back here your winner messages on or off. Just make sure that's all set properly. You're gonna teleport outside, make sure that's all the way you want it as well. Constant day for instance, there we go, or not, or the border on or off, as you have seen already. So I'd say thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you can have a great game with your friends or whomever you want to play this with, and I hope you enjoyed. And please once again report any flaws with the system to me in the comments, or if it's a bit more complex, just send me a message so that I can fix everything that might occur as a problem in the system. So I'd say hope to see you again another time in another video, and until then, have fun guys, and bye bye.